Happy morning, guys. Today we shall discuss 10th chemistry question paper. This is chapter-wise test, and the chapter is carbon and compounds, right? Carbon and its compounds. Let us discuss few questions in this question paper. First question: give the names of the following functional groups. So, as you know, OH is alcohol, and COH is acid. And if it is C double bond O, that is called as ketone. And if it is CHO, that is called as aldehyde. Got it? And give a chemical test to distinguish between saturated and unsaturated test. Unsaturated hydrocarbons, right? So we call it as bromine water test. To differentiate between saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons, we have bromine water test. Here we have to understand the bromine water is colored. But when we are adding the bromine water to unsaturated hydrocarbons, these unsaturated hydrocarbons, this means double bond, right? One of the double bond breaks down and bromine adds to the double bond. Two bromines adds to the double bond. Let me give you a clear-cut answer for this one. Yeah, this is it. This is the answer. This is how you have to present in your paper. The depth of the answer should be based on the marks assigned to the question, right? Saturated compounds are the ones that only contain single bonds, whereas unsaturated compounds are those that contain multiple bonds. This is, as we know, single bonds and multiple bonds. In order to distinguish between them, we can use bromine water test. When bromine water is added to the saturated compounds, no reaction occurs. Yes, when bromine water is added to a saturated compound, saturated means single bond. For example, C double bond C, let us write as CH3, CH3, right? If you add bromine water here, so what happens? No reaction. Because there is only single bond, right? It cannot break the single bond. Yes, when bromine water is added to a saturated compound, no reaction occurs since there is no double or triple bond present for Br2 to reaction, right? If there is double or triple bond only, the reaction will happen. And the reddish brown color of Br2 remains intact in the solution, remains same as the solution. So if you are pouring bromine water over the saturated compounds, the color of the bromine water, that is a brown color. The brown color of the bromine water remains as such because the bromine does not react with the saturated compounds, right? And in the same case, when an unsaturated compound reacts with bromine water, what happens here? As I said earlier, the double bond breaks down and two bromine will be added to the two hydrogen given here. Two carbons given here. So it gives BrCH2, it gives BrCH2, BrCH2, right? So this is called as 1,2 dibromoethane, 1,2 dibromoethane, right? In case of alkyne, right? Both are unsaturated compounds. Ethene and ethine both are unsaturated. In case of alkynes, the same thing takes place. One of the bond breaks down and bromine gets attached to these two carbon atoms, right? And the bromine gets attached to these two carbon atoms. Got it? Okay, then there will be a double bond remaining here because we can understand here there is a triple bond here. One bond has been broken, so double bond is here. There is a double bond here. One bond has been broken, so single bond is here. Got it? And again, the alkene added with another molecule of Br. This added with another molecule of Br2, another bromine. So what happens here? The double bond gets break down, and as usual, One bromine goes to this carbon, one bromine goes to this carbon. So this gives 1, comma 1, 2, comma 2 tetrabromoethane. So in the case of both the cases in the sense, it means that alkene and alkyne, both the cases. That is in the case of unsaturated compounds, the bromine water decolorizes. Name the products when ethanol formed when ethanol burns in air. Ethanol, what's the formula? CH3, CH2, OH. When it burns in air. So alcohol when burns in air, it gives carbon dioxide plus water plus heat plus light. Because this is an exothermic reaction. Right? This is an exothermic reaction. So this is what. Ethanol when burns in light, it gives carbon dioxide plus water plus heat and light. Got it? Yes, the burning of ethanol in the presence of air shows a combustion reaction. The combustion of hydrocarbon is to give carbon dioxide and water to a large amount of heat. So this is how you have to write. Simply, you should not write the equation like this. You have to write some lines like this to ensure the full marks. Right? So you have to write the equation. Ethanol plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide plus water plus heat. So this is what happens when ethanol is burned. This is a combustion reaction. Okay. What are the two forms of energy that are liberated on burning alcohol? Right. Heat and light. This is what I mentioned here. This is heat and light. Two forms of energy. Why the reaction between methane and chlorine is considered as a substitution reaction? Let us check it out. Why the reaction between the methane and chlorine is considered as a substitution reaction? Here, methane reacts with the chlorine in presence of sunlight to form chloromethane and hydrogen chloride. CH4 plus Cl2 gives CH3Cl plus HCl. Here, one hydrogen atom of methane is getting substituted with the chlorine atom. What happens here? Here, one hydrogen has been replaced by one chlorine, CH4 plus CH3Cl. This hydrogen goes with another molecule of chlorine and becomes HCl. So one is replaced in the place of others, so that it is called as a substitution reaction. Right? If it is in 1 mark or 2 marks, you can write this much. And if it is in 3 marks or more than 3 marks, you would write till all the CH4, all the H4 is replaced by chlorine molecule. So this reaction to be continued till CCl4 is arrived. Okay, that's a point. Then why covalent compounds are generally poor conductors of electricity? Listen here, conductors of electricity are conduction. It involves movement of ions. Movement of ions. So what must be there? Ions must be there. Got it? And moreover, the term conductivity is related to metals. Right? Metals. Usually, the covalent compounds are formed between non-metals. That is one point. And there will be no ions in the covalent bonds. So these are the two reasons why the covalent compounds are generally poor in nature. Let us check the answer. A covalent bond is formed between non-metal atoms which combine together by sharing of electrons. This is the most important point. That is sharing of electrons. And covalent compounds have no free electrons or no ion, so that they do not conduct electricity. Is it clear? Next one. Name the gas evolved when ethanoic acid is added to sodium carbonate. How would you cool the presence of a gas? Let us write the equation ethanoic acid. CH3 COOH CH3COH plus sodium carbonate Na2CO3. Right? What happens? What happens here again? CH3COONA plus CO2 will be evolved plus H2O will be coming out. H2O will be coming out, right? So here 2 and here CO2 and H2O. Okay, fine. Right. So what happens here? The carbon dioxide gas is evolved here. And how would you test the presence of carbon dioxide? The carbon dioxide has a property of extinguishing fire. That is fire extinguisher. Extinguisher, in sense, it puts out the fire. Name the compound formed when ethanol is formed with ethanoic acid in the presence of few drops of corn so it's quite simple. What's the name of this reaction? Esterification. That is ethanol with ethanoic acid. Let me write the equation here ethanol is there already. Okay, ethanoic acid is also there. So CH3 COH, ethanol with ethanoic acid in the presence of an acid. Right, acid serves as a catalyst here. So in the presence of an acid here. So what happens here? As usual, water molecule gets eliminated here. So that gives rise to CH3 COO, this part, and here CH2 CH3. Got it? So this is what happens when an ethanol is warmed with ethanoic acid in the presence of few drops of acid. So this process is called esterification. The product formed is called ester. Right? Next question. Let us check out this question. What is meant by functional group in organic compound? Name the function. So this we know this is an alcohol, as I said, and this is an acid, right? So what is meant by functional group? Let us check out the answer here. Yes, the functional group is defined as an atom or a group of atoms that gives some characteristic properties to an organic compound. A functional group is attached to the carbon chain through its free valency or valences. It acts as a reactive side of the molecules. So this is a content you would write, but what you have to understand. So what is a functional group? The functional group is the engine of a train. That is, what does it mean? This decides, this is the deciding authority about the property of a group. How the group should react. So that is called the functional group, right? And it is defined as an atom or group of atoms. It may be one atom or a group of atoms. So this decides the characteristic property. Got it? The functional group decides the characteristic property of an organism. Let me give a few examples, right? So here CH3, CH2, OH, right? So this we call as alcohol, particularly ethanol, right? Let me write one more. CH3, COOH. So this we call as acetic acid, right? This is called as acetic acid, and this is called as ethyl alcohol or ethanol. Right, here this has the functional group alcohol with the two carbon atoms, two carbon atoms. This has also two carbon atoms, but as a functional group as acid. So the property of these two compounds differs a lot. Both are having two carbon atoms, but the functional group differs. So that this ethyl alcohol, what it does, it does a role of anesthetic. So ethyl alcohol is a major component of all alcoholic drinks, as you know, right? So that what happens when the alcoholic drink get into the body, what it does, it lowers the pain feeling, it relaxes the mind, it soothes the mind. But what happens? Same. The compound which is having the same number of carbon. If acetic acid is got inside, this is an acid. Got it? This is an acid. What happens when acetic acid is get inside? So it will increases the acidity of the stomach. And the acetic acid is used as a preservative. It is used as vinegar, as you know, pickles. Vinegar, right? So this is anesthetic, this is vinegar, but both are having the same number of carbon atoms, right? Same number of carbon. And then who decides the property difference? This is a part. OH, this is a function group here. COH, this is a function group here. These are the atom or group of atoms which decides, which gives the characteristic properties to organic compound. So these organic compounds will react in a different way because of this group, and this organic compound will react in a different way because of this group, right? So this is called a functional group. Is it clear? A functional group is a atom or group of atoms which decides the nature of the organic compound, which decides the nature of the organic compound. Is it clear? Next one. State one point of difference between soap and synthetic detergent. Not one, we should have much more in our mind. Let us have the answer here. Yes, as you know, first point everybody will know. Soaps or sodiums also of higher fatty acids or long chain carboxylic acids, both we can write. Right, soaps or sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acid. Example, sodium stearate. Synthetic detergents or sodium alkyl sulfates or sodium alkyl benzene sulfonates. Example, sodium N-dodecyl sulfate. So you can remember the examples for your exam point of view. Soaps are prepared from vegetables, oils, and animal fats. Synthetic detergents are prepared from hydrocarbons obtained from petroleum, long chain hydrocarbons. Soaps have relatively weak cleansing action. Here, the detergents will have strong cleansing action. Soap forms curdy white precipitate with calcium and magnesium salts, hardness causing ions, which are present in the hard water and hence not used in the hard water. But calcium and magnesium salts of detergents are soluble in water. Therefore, no curdy white precipitates are obtained in hard water, and hence synthetic detergents can be used even in hard water. Right? The calcium magnesium salts of detergents are soluble in water, and soaps cannot be used in acidic medium as they are decomposed into carboxylic acid in acidic medium. But the detergents can be used in the acidic medium. They because they are the salt of strong acids and they will not decompose in the acidic medium. Soaps do not cause water pollution. Synthetic detergent cause water pollution. These are biodegradable. Some of the synthetic detergents are not biodegradable. Remember, some of the synthetic detergents, not all the detergents, right? Take a screenshot so that you can have this for your exam point of mind. You read all the points so that you can write some of the points in your exams. The element forms give reasons. Forms very large number of carbon atoms. 2 points regarding the carbon, as I said. What is that? One is catenation. Remember the spelling. Most of you has written the wrong spelling. Catenation. Catenation and tetravalency. Tetravalency, as you know, this is called tetravalency of carbon. Air holes of the gas burner have to be adjusted when heated vessels get blackened by the flame. I have the answer for this. You have a look over this. Carbon forms large number of compounds since carbon is small in size and form covalent bonds, catenation, so tetravalence, right? So these are the points. And air holes of a gas burner made open so that the air can pass through, which is needed for complete combustion, right? If there is incomplete combustion, there will be yellow flame and the bottom of the vessels will be blackened. So that if it is converted as complete combustion, nothing will happen. So to convert it into complete combustion, what we have to do? We have to allow oxygen. So for that, we have to adjust the holes. Got it? And synthetic detergents are not biodegradable. Listen here, not all. Some of the synthetic detergents are not generally biodegradable. That is, they are not decomposable microorganisms like bacteria. Hence, the use of synthetic detergents cause pollution in lakes and rivers. Okay. Use of synthetic detergents cause pollutions of water. Yeah, we had seen that one, right? What is ethanoic acid? Write the formula of the functional group present as ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid is acid containing so two carbon atoms. The formula is CH3COOH, right? And what is special name given to 5 to 8% of solution in water? This is called as vinegar. I said that. This is called as vinegar. How does ethanoic acid react with sodium carbonate? This is what we had seen here, right? The same equation, right? This equation, same equation. Ethanoic acid reacts with sodium carbonate, right? And write a chemical equation of a reaction and name the common salt to produce. Ethanoic acid reacts with sodium carbonate. So this is the salt to produce. CH3COOH. This is salt, right? And this is the equation. You can pause and you can check it over. And last question. What happens when sodium metal is added to ethanoic acid? Right? CH3COOH. So what happens when sodium metal is added to ethanoic acid? Right? Let me write like this. Plus Na. That gives what happens here? CH3COO-Na will be formed. CH3COO-Na will be formed. Plus hydrogen gas will be liberated. Plus H2 will be liberated. So for balancing, we have to add 2 here and we have to add 2 here. Right, what happens when sodium carbonate is added to ethanoic acid? This is what we had seen previous 2 times. Ethanoic acid react with a dilute solution of, I had given NaOH. I had given NaOH in the question paper, right? Let us work out for that. So ethanoic acid plus NaOH. So as you know what happens, this is an acid, this is a base. So acid and base, it forms salt and water. Again, CH3CONA plus H2O will be formed. So this is a neutralization reaction. Esterification reaction, the same thing. Acid plus alcohol. Here, acid plus alcohol. This is what the esterification reaction. So this is what the esterification reaction. Got it? That's it.